Hey everybody, welcome once again to another Low on Health Rambling, kind of a year-end review. This particular video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to talk about a service that I've used a lot this year. As some of you may or may not know, I really don't buy a lot of my games. I use a lot of like subscription services, mainly Gamefly, which is great, better when they had a local Tampa distribution center. Now my nearest facility is Philly, which takes forever for me to get the games. Another main revenue I get a lot of games from is from games of gold through Xbox Live. In which case, as you know, you get like X number of like 2 Xbox One games, 2 Xbox 360 games. That's another way that I've been able to like play through a bunch of games. And granted, some of those games are a little bit old or I've already played them, but they still at least give me some new games to play. However, this year, I decided to kind of look into Xbox's other offering of games, which is called basically Gamepass. In which case, Xbox Live, Xbox basically offers this like subscription service. They call it like the Netflix for games. It's not really like a Netflix for games, but it's actually very good and a worthwhile thing to pursue if you're really into gaming. Once again, this is kind of like you pay as a monthly subscription. It's usually $10 a month. Sometimes you can find deals for like buy 1 month, get the next month free, or your first month's $1. They offer deals here and there, but it's usually always a really good deal. What really got me interested in using Game Pass was essentially the huge back catalog of games they had, and a lot of them were digital games that haven't had disc releases. And of course, if I'm using mainly Gamefly, there are a bunch of games that I haven't played because they're not available on disc. So what I really wanted to do is this year I wanted to keep track of how much gaming I was actually getting out of it. Like a lot of subscription services, you want to make sure you get, all your money's worth. In which case, for this year, what I decided to do was, along with my usual big Excel file keeping track of all the games I play, I also started one just for Game Pass, which I'm going to bring up right now. There it is. Okay. So, this is my main big Excel file for Game Pass. You can see here that I started my subscription in March. In which case, I proceeded to play through essentially every single game on Game Pass that I hadn't played before. Through the course of from March to now, so roughly 9-10 months, there have been 263 games that have been made available to me in Game Pass. Of those, 103 I had played before. So like roughly 40% I've already played. So it doesn't really mean maybe I only played 150 new games. And as you can see here, as I'm going to scroll down, I essentially just had the name of the game, what kind of system it was for, because there's a lot of 360 and Xbox One games. When I beat them or finished them or played them, I mean, some of these games I didn't give like more than an hour or so to. You can pretty much know if you're going to enjoy some of these games, and if you don't, you just stop playing them. I didn't buy them. I'm not having to ship them back out, so I didn't really have any attachment to continue playing them if I wasn't going to enjoy them. But at least I got to experience them. You can also see here I have a priority list. A thing with Game Pass that some people may or may not know is that they do add new games. Every month or so they add like a new suite of games. But they also do remove games. And that's something a lot of people don't know, is that they do remove games from the service. So it's not like a big catalog that's just getting 200 games, 300 games and expanding. Basically, I guess there's some type of licensing fee for it to be on the service, in which case games do get removed. So I keep on track of the news of what's leaving to make sure I definitely have played them. So when a new set of games comes out, I give them a priority and I kind of play them in that order of what's available. So as you can see, like through this list, I'm going to scroll down like when I played the game. Some games you can see I did all like a bunch in the same day. That's because they didn't take that much time. A lot of sports games you don't have to spend that much time with. I'm going to scroll down here. You can see just a bunch of games. A lot of it, like I said, are more downloadable games or Xbox Live arcade games that never had a retail release. I want to bring up a fact of like the Mega Man games and even like the Banjo-Tooie games. I didn't play through them all through completion. There was no need to. There's no drive to. But I wanted to at least experience the games. And usually, because I'm an achievement farmer, I will basically play a certain level until I can get all of the easy achievements I can get. There's also a good amount of games on the service that are remakes. So if I did play like the 360 version or the original version, if there was an Xbox One version or remastered, Some of them I did play. Not all of them. I'll get to that in a second. I will say there are a lot of really good games on Game Pass. We'll go over another list of them as I just scroll down here. See, like you saw all these dates when I played them. You will see as I go down, if it has an X, that means I've already played it and it's not a newer version of it. So that's why it's a good chunk here. And then even right now, currently pending, as I come down to it, I have like a set of maybe 10 games that I will eventually play next year. But a lot of them are like the remakes. Like I've already played them, so it's not a necessity or a rush for me to play them now. So it's like roughly 10 games. The good thing is, if you definitely have the time, it's a service worth having. And kind of give you guys a better idea of what games they have. This is the games they currently have available for the service. A lot of them, like, they don't have retail releases, so you can't really play them. But a lot of them are just really good, solid games. Some of them are console exclusive, some of them aren't. Some of them you probably played in the past, and it's worth maybe just playing again. Some games on here I spend an hour with, some I spend a lot more on. For an example, the Avon Colony I've spent a decent amount of time on. Let me resize that real quick. Avon Colony I've spent a decent amount of time on. Same with Bomber Crew. Oh, I forgot to make this do 200. Production Fund. So as I scroll down here, like Ashen is a new game. A lot of games that are console exclusive to Xbox sometimes are definitely on here. You guys got the Forzas and the Halos and even the Fables. All the Gears of War are here. So if you're looking to like get an Xbox X or Xbox to basically play all the console exclusives, Game Pass is a great thing to get so you can play the exclusives. All the Halo Master Chief Collection here. So essentially all the Gears and all the Halos here. The Hitman game series is also fun. There's a lot of good, just solid games where you're like, oh, I don't want to buy that or pre-own it. Just find a deal, spend $10 and just spend a good month just playing through it. It's still a really, really good deal. I'm trying to think what other games are. Like some of these games have been like in my top 5 game of the years. Like Life is Strange has been I'm trying to think what else here. These Metro games are, of course, they are remixes, so I didn't bother really playing them, or I'll get to them eventually. There's a lot of surprise ones, too, that have come out. I'm trying to think. Oxenfree was like my game of the year before. That's there. PUBG is there. Quantum Break is a great game. Once again, a console exclusive. If you haven't played it or didn't think about playing it, just pay $10, play it. Once again, if you don't like the game, just move on to another game. All you're wasting is bandwidth of downloading games and the wait for it. I'm trying to think of other games. Roundabout's a really funny game. They got Saints Row games, if you haven't ever played any Saints Rows. Another big thing that actually made me really drive towards Game Pass was their day one releases. So like for Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 4, which I love the Forza series, and even State of Decay and eventually Crackdown, a lot of these games, when they were out retail or out to be able to download, they also came on Game Pass. So it was like getting day one of those. I found it to actually be easier to just cancel my GameFly queue for that game, let's say Forza, or Sea of Thieves, or State of Decay. It's easier for me just to subscribe to the service and save a slot in my GameFly queue for it. But a lot of these games are just really good. Like you've probably never heard of Sheltered or Snake Pass. Most of us have heard of Sonic and Knuckles. Like it's worth just giving these games a try. Spin Tires was fun. I'm not going to go through all these, of course. There's the State of Decay I mentioned. There's another 2 console exclusives. I believe Super Lucky Tales is a console exclusive. But Sunset Overdrive's a great game, console exclusive. If you've never played it or thinking about getting it, just pay for Game Pass. $10 a month, play through it. Now, some of these games have been free on Xbox Games with Gold. Like a lot of people have brought that up, but some of it's just rehashing. And I will say that does kind of get aggravating if a new batch of games are coming to Game Pass and I've already played them. It doesn't really help me out that much. But it is still just, to me, worth it to have. And my recent thing, I did, what was it, like 6 months for 30... It's like 6 months for the cost of 3 months. So I did that because it was a promotion. So I'm just going to have the service sitting here. So I'll get to some of those games in the back catalog. Like if there's still some of the Gears games that I might go back and play through. Like if there's a lull between me playing a GameFly game being shipped to me, I can just boot up Game Pass and there will definitely be new games there for me to play. There's a lot of just really sweet indie games too, just like good narrative games. The Gardens Between Us is very good. Look, they even have Division. There's actually a second page, so there's more than 200 right now currently available on the service, in which case it's probably the W's at this point. Yes, just the W's. Oh, they got Vivid Pinata, which I love. Zoo Tycoon's another one of those games that I just spent way too much time on. So once again, I just want to kind of bring up real quick how much I enjoyed Game Pass. It's definitely a worthwhile service. If you were thinking about it, definitely get it. If you can get it on sale, even better. I don't even know if you need the Xbox Live Gold to have it. Don't hold me. You probably need Gold to play online, of course, but I don't know if you need actually Gold to have it. So even for like friends or families, like if you're debating on buying a game for a kid or a nephew or somebody that has an Xbox system, get them like a Game Pass subscription, and like they have access to so many games. And yes, worst case, they get lulled and they just keep resubscribing automatically. Yes, that sucks, but like you have so many games to play. And this way, too, you don't have to worry about trading in games or buying pre-owned games or having these things clog up a system. Or even if your disk drive dies, which happened on my old Xbox One, like you can still have access to these because they're all digital downloads. So once again, this is me just rambling, thanking Game Pass for allowing me to breach over 250 games played this year, with about 150 of them coming from Game Pass. And I just want to say it's a really good service and you should definitely try it out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.